Have you been thinking about moving here to Delaware and you've done all the research but you still can't decide? Well, I'm here to make your decision just a little bit easier. In this video, I'm gonna go over my top reasons why I love living here in Delaware. And my third reason just might surprise you, but after watching, you'll know whether or not Delaware is the right choice for you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Windom and I help people buy and sell homes here in Delaware. I've lived in Delaware my whole life, and on this channel, I'll go over exactly what it's like living here in the first state. And if you're thinking about potentially buying or selling a home here in Delaware, I'd definitely love to have a conversation to see if it made sense for us to work together. So I'll put my info here on screen now, and I'll put it again in the description below. Whether it's just in general conversation or if I'm talking to a potential client, they always ask me, Brandon, I really don't know much about Delaware. Why do you like living there? What's so great about it? So I actually stopped and thought about it, and here were some of the top reasons I came up with. My first reason is the size of Delaware. I know, bigger is always better, but in this specific case, I don't think that's true. Here, because Delaware is so much smaller, I just really like the convenience of never being too far away from anything. If I want to go and get that city vibe and check out some of the cool stuff they got going on, such as the beer garden out in Constitutional Yards, or if I just wanted to go and walk by the riverfront, I can just hop in my car, take a short ride to Wilmington, and be there in no time. Or maybe I just want to go to the beach and relax in the sun, or maybe just walk the boardwalk. And I can go do that, and it's only going to take me about an hour depending on exactly where I am in the state. Another thing I like about the state being a little bit smaller is that the commute is a whole lot shorter. On average, I can get to almost anywhere I need to go in my day-to-day life in under 20 minutes. And a lot of times that's on a bad day. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you already know how I feel about traffic. So that's definitely a big plus for me. And my second reason kind of piggybacks on my first. And that's because of the state being smaller, is that it just feels like there's so much potential for everything here. And there's just plenty of opportunity. And what I mean by that is there isn't a lot of competition, or maybe oversaturation is a better word. What I mean is that in some of the bigger cities or states, it feels like everything's been done before. On every corner, there's a karaoke bar, or there's a trampoline park, or some new brunch place, and everything just feels like it's already been done before. There's just a ton of competition. So it just seems like even if you're offering a side hustle or some type of service, everybody and their mom is already doing it, and there's so many iterators of it. So it kind of leads to the feeling of that nothing really feels new. Everything feels kind of like been there, done that before. But since Delaware is a lot smaller, we don't have some of those options, at least not yet. So when something new does pop up, it kind of looks like or feels like Walmart on Black Friday. Everybody and their mom has to get there. So when you see that new exciting business, it tends to flourish here in Delaware. And from my personal standpoint, it just feels nice to have some of those new experiences without having to travel very far away. Now for my third reason, since we were speaking about new businesses and me being a small business owner myself, one thing I've come to realize about Delaware is that it's very friendly for new businesses or corporations. So much so that over 60% of all Fortune 500 companies are incorporated here in Delaware. And another fun fact that'll actually blow your mind, there are more companies that call Delaware home than there are people actually living here. So whether it's our favorable tax laws or the privacy laws that we have here that give a lot of anonymity to business owners and corporations. But honestly, the thing that we're probably most known for in Delaware is our Chancery Court, which specializes in corporate law. So you get all that, as well as Delaware's willingness to support small and local business, such as regular social networking events, support workshops, grants, and even incentives to open new businesses. So Delaware is a great state to either open a new business or relocate your existing business. The fourth reason is the central location. Delaware is only about an hour or two, give or take, from New York, New Jersey, PA, DC, and Maryland. And depending on where you are in the state, depending on what state you're trying to get to, it might only take you about 30 to 40 minutes. And the reason I like this is that you get all the benefits of being in one of those big cities, such as entertainment and sporting events. So if you like the Giants, you can go see them in New York. Or if you like the Eagles, you can go see them in Philly. Or if you're someone like myself who can't stand either team, you can go see the better of both of those teams, which are the Ravens. So you can just head on down to Baltimore and go see them. And the list goes on and on as far as diverse culinary experiences, more networking and social events, or if you're looking for maybe some bigger job opportunities, or you want to go to a bigger name college, you get all those benefits of being in proximity of these bigger cities, but you don't really have a lot of the drawbacks that come with it, such as long commute times with the awful traffic, the insanely high cost of living, overcrowding, increased competition for everything, and just the overall stress stress that comes with living in some of those bigger cities. The bonus reason I like living in Delaware is its nickname. It's the first state. And I mean, I don't know anybody who doesn't like being first. And you know, as a wise man once said, if you're not first, you're last. Now, the fifth reason is a big one, and that's taxes. If you know anything about Delaware at all, you're probably already aware that we don't have any sales tax here. And that's a huge plus because you don't have to do any extra math calculations when you go to buy something. If you pick something up and it's 20 bucks, when you get to the register, it's gonna cost you 20 bucks. Same thing as online. If you have an address here in Delaware, you're not gonna pay sales tax. But one of the biggest tax breaks that we have here comes actually with our property tax. We have some of the lowest in the nation, and compared to our neighboring states, it's not even close. Now, the average property bill in Delaware obviously is going to depend on where in the state you are, how big the house is, etc., etc. But on average, the median that we see here is about $1,500 a year. While in some of those neighboring states, I've seen averages as high as $12,000 a year, which is absolutely crazy when you add that in addition to the way home prices have been increasing in the last couple of years. Now, I could keep going on and on and on about all the reasons why I love living here in Delaware, but those were just some of the main ones. So now that you've heard all the reasons why I love Delaware, you're probably thinking to yourself, what about the not so great stuff? And I actually made a video discussing some of those things right here.